Here we go with week 13 of On Top the Cage, the Baker's Dozen edition of the show. Week 13 already, Dan.
This is insane to me because I remember being over here, I don't know, can't wait till football starts.
Labor Day.
Football. Not even Labor Day. It was just before that and a random summer day or something. And shit, college football's basically over.
It's over. Conference championship week. There's no games on the board. We'll talk about it when we finish the NFL slate. But obviously just Dan and I back here. Big thanks to Mark the Mechanic, who showed up last week. Another good performance, I suppose. Some people were disappointed. They're like, usually he's more intoxicated. What's wrong with him?
Well, that's what
bilateral
surgery,
bilateral carpal tunnel surgery will do.
Cut into his drinking time.
So, speaking of drinking time, holy shit. It was a long, long week for me. Wednesday through Sunday. Heavy drinking. So we talked about what our plans were, and they all came to fruition for sure. I don't know. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Tons of good food.
I mean, we got to go through this. There's not too much on the intro board, so we'll just have to go through what we all did. I mean, Wednesday I went down to Dayton to see my family, and it was as advertised for sure. We got down there, I don't know, 5 p.m. with just Connor Keaton and myself, but they had a really good time. Better time than I was hoping they were going to have. They indulged in quite a bit of the alcohol, and none of them are really of legal limit, but anyway, that's kind of how my family does it. But yeah, Wednesday night, we went after it pretty good. Some game got played.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm still waiting to play that game.
I don't think I won. I bet I played a dozen games. I didn't win.
Well, how do you do it? You pound a nail into a stump?
Yeah, there's like 5, 6, 7 of us around the stump, and everybody's got their nail up, and you try to eliminate the other people's nails. You flip the hammer. You got to catch the hammer clean, and however you catch it, you got to hit someone else's nail, and you try to drive their nail in. My brother-in-law, who likes to be tricky dick, likes to flip it a couple of times and catch it, where he gets 2 shots. Then I saw him do 3 one time, and I don't think it went that well. The hammer ended up on the ground. But anyway, the kids were getting better and better. I think they have more practice at it than I do. But
yeah, we got to play that game.
I ended up shotgunning a beer because of my loss one time. That was the first beer I think I shotgunned since like college, I think, almost.
Nice.
When's the last time you shotgunned a beer?
Well, I'm sure it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, no.
I
was good, man. I was fucking good. It was a good performance. I got pretty good reviews from my kids, my nephew.
Trying to think if I did one at OU, maybe.
Speaking of that, let's get right into beer reviews. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk a lot about intro stuff and what happened down in Dayton and what happened when I came back here and all that other good stuff. Beer review. Dan usually do it, right?
Masthead Brewing, which has the best beer that I think we've ever had with the Sleigh All Day.
Dan was a huge fan of that. I tell you what, that Hoppin' Frog Blueberry Summer Beer was so good.
That was good, too.
What's it called?
Robot Santa's Christmas Ale, and I have no clue what Robot Santa means.
I do. I looked it up today. It has something to do with the animated series called Futurama. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You
I've seen a commercial for it.
Apparently, Robot Santa is some type of antagonist character on Futurama. Like, I think he's a mean Santa, if I'm not mistaken. I was reading it below. There's all kinds of shit. My eyes are bad. You got your glasses on.
Cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, coriander, honey, and orange peel.
That's a lot to live up to right there.
7.6% alcohol by volume.
That's in our wheelhouse. Oh, see, I want more head on my beer. And pour faster and see what happens.
Where's your World Cup glass?
It's right over there. Gifts from Mark. Those are awesome gifts. We use them. I promise you we use them Friday. It's on the show. We're going to talk about everything that happened from Wednesday through Sunday for me.
I'm going to take mine with me unless we're doing breakfast.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Oof, oof. Here we go. It's good, but I feel like there's too many things in it. Like, I can't taste one over the other.
No, I can't, yeah.
Hold on, you read all this shit? What's this saying?
I don't taste cinnamon. Maybe a little nutmeg. I don't taste honey or coriander.
What is coriander? I don't know what the hell that even is.
Coriander, when you grow cilantro.
I don't do that, but anyway.
I do that.
You do?
But coriander is the seed that grows off the plant. So I'll let the coriander after it dies off and collect the seeds, and I'll use the coriander.
It's good.
Mill it up.
It's good, and it's a
Not
Christmas.
as good as Slay All Day.
There's a little bit of cinnamon in there I can taste. I think that's more the overwhelming thing. But anyway, yeah, it's not. There's a lot going on in that beer, but I'll drink it.
Cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a good beer. Anyway, Wednesday, we were down there at Dayton. It was awesome. I ate. I purpose was trying not to eat too much, and, to try not to gain too many pounds. But anyway, I did. And then on Thursday morning, my brother-in-law took us on this huge fucking hike. It said it was only 3.2 miles. It felt like 5. It was up and down through this beautiful forest area. But I was glad I did it because I needed to shed a few things there. And then obviously Thanksgiving was awesome.
Wait. How'd you cook the turkey? Let's hear that story.
I was going right there. I sent Dan a picture of the OG smoker, that Traeger smoker that we used. It was beat down. Dan's like, what the hell? It was my father's smoker. My father passed away in 2013. He had it a few years before he passed away. So it had to be 2010. My brother-in-law ended up with it, in regards to the kids divvying up things, if you will. And he puts it to good use, and we used it again, and it was money. I mean, the bird came out great.
I did not know Traegers were made back then. I just wasn't in the smoking loop yet, but man, freaking you sent me those pictures. I'm like, holy shit.
The pellets, yeah.
An antique Traeger.
It fired up just fine. I mean, at one point in time, we had it up to 350. We lowered it. We're trying to time it with all the side dishes and things like that. It performed perfectly. It was awesome. Oh, by the way, we have kind of a betting podcast here. My brother-in-law, Steve, who's never been a gambler that I've known in my life, all of a sudden is wildly into gambling. He lives in Indiana, and FanDuel, DraftKings, all that shit's legal over there. And I tell you what, he rattled off 6 wins on shitty college basketball games in a row on Wednesday night. I was playing along minimally because I was skeptical, but my account got bolstered, and that was all good. So he's into gambling, and there was a fight over the TV.
What's that commercial with when they pick up the hitchhiker with the bowling bag? That's not going to be your brother-in-law, is it?
I don't know. I don't watch commercials. Dave's a big commercial guy.
Come on, you have to see that. He's throwing cornhole things. Oh, come on.
Oh, wait, I think I did see that.
You had to see
I
that
have
commercial.
seen that commercial.
I can't remember if it's FanDuel or whoever's doing it, but that sketchy-looking dude.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about now. But Steve was running hot. It
makes me want to go get a bowling bag and walk around.
It was like a battle over the TV on Thursday when the NFL started because he was still betting shitty college basketball games.
I thought it would be a battle because there were good soccer games on.
That was on in the morning a little bit. There was a question whether or not we were going to watch the Macy's Day Parade down there.
What?
Or soccer. Yes. So.
What won out?
The parade, because the girls were down there.
God.
The girls were down there. The parade won out. The parade did win out. So, but Thursday, then we ended up playing one of my sister-in-law's children, came up with some sort of beer Olympic things, and they were crazy different games that we all played on Thursday night. One time I had a pantyhose on my head.
Playing it for the parade.
No, I had a pantyhose on my head. There was a tennis ball. We had to knock down beers. It was very competitive. I mean, there was arguments. There was some shoving. There was a lot going on. But I knew we had a big day on Friday. I shut it down I shut it down by midnight on Thursday because I had to drive back here. I'll tell you what, the kids, I woke up to go to the bathroom 2 in the morning. They were still not in the room. They were staying with me. They were up till 2:30 in the morning.
Hey, they're kids. What the hell?
I'm sure pounding beers with their cousins, and they were having a hell of a time. So anyway, that ends. We drive up here. I dropped Connor back off at school at Ohio State. He was raring to go. He was happy to be home. Obviously, it didn't go so well in regards to the Ohio State-Michigan game on Saturday.
Ass kicking.
But I had something to do up here, and that was watch the World Cup game on Friday against England. Dan came over. Dan, his son Tyler came over too, and his wife Tammy shortly joined us later. We let her rip. I don't know how long did you really plan on staying? Did you have any?
What time did I leave?
Fucking 10 p.m. Dan and I logged 8 hours of partying out here.
Yeah. I was hoping I would, because there was a high school game on I was hoping
7.
to be home. Yeah, so I didn't know if it was on TV or I'd listen to it on the radio, but we ended up at least listening to part of it. It turned out to be an ass kicking here.
It did.
Shit, yeah. I was here longer than I wanted.
Yeah, I don't.
But we made great food for that.
We did. They made the American standard, as he calls it.
Turkey club sandwich. Smoked the turkey Friday morning and then made the sandwiches here.
How long was the turkey on the smoker?
About 3 hours.
Like rave reviews.
Just breast. Turkey breast. Brined it. Smoked it.
I got a little bit. I was pretty drinky. I don't like to eat too much when I drink, but I got a little. I think I got a half a sandwich. I think.
Tolerate 3 of them. Three.
Oakley got one.
Oakley had one.
Oakley,
Tom was pissed.
We were not watching. Tom was not. Tom just left today. He'd been here for like 2 weeks. We loved having him up here. He left this morning. Probably due back on Friday. Fuck, I don't know.
Jeez, did he leave before the wind started here?
He did. He got out of town just fine.
The wind is unbelievable here.
He did get out.
Because this is the first time ever both doors are down.
They are. Oh, yeah, the bottom dropped out today. It started off like 45, 50 degrees. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 24 degrees.
Ask her what the wind chill is.
No, fuck that. I'm done talking to her.
The wind is freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, doors down for maybe the first time here, but yeah, it's a little chilly. It's like balmy here now. I'm not used to it. I just don't need all the clothing.
The wind is just ridiculous.
But it was super fun. On Friday, we played a lot of song quiz. Your son really got into that. He's like, it's not so bad hanging out with drunk adults. So,
yeah.
So,
did the breathalyzer game on his way home?
Oh, whatever he registered, I don't remember
he was
that.
Good.
He was good?
Yeah.
Was he drinking some water in between?
I don't know.
I was pushing beers on him, I think, because you were cooking and we were out here playing song quiz. He was enjoying it.
Shoot, we had to get beers from Brian, too.
We did?
Yeah.
A little foggy for me. We did some little beer shots. There's some great pictures that came out of it. I did post the one picture, just Dan and I on top of the cage. It got quite a bit of reviews. I noticed my belly. I stepped on the scale when I came back from Thanksgiving. I was up 6 pounds. I'm down to like positive 2. I lost 4 in the last couple of days when I've shut things down. But anyway, so it was super awesome on Friday. Saturday, my brother-in-law Kevin,
my wife came into town.
Yeah, my wife's brother Kevin. I love that guy. He's so much fun. He's like salt of the earth, dude. Ton of fun. Katie commandeers him quite a bit. I would like him to spend more time with me. She likes to get him downstairs playing pool, things like that. But yeah, we had a great time then. And then Sunday, I had to work for On Top the Cage. I put my 9 hours in out here day drinking.
Such a shitty day too. Sunday
It was. I watched all the games. I think I went in around 10 p.m. So it was crazy. I had to certainly shut it down on Monday and Tuesday. I feel normal now on Wednesday.
I decorated the outside of the house Saturday, cleaned out my lower gutters, all that shit. Tammy's like, oh my God, you've been out there all day.
I was going to ask you, you got the Christmas decorations up, inside, outside? Where are we at with this?
Outside or up.
What do you got?
There's lights everywhere, dude. Not on the house.
Everywhere. On the bushes and shit?
But yeah, I don't get up on the ladder to do that. Well, I got up on the ladder to clean the gutters, but not put lights up. But yeah, no, they're all up. I got to redo some wiring.
We got Reese. We're big Reese people here.
Blew out some fuse on some lights. I strung 2 many together. I looked at the directions. I'm like, it says 2.
You looked at directions?
6. Well, to see how they string together.
Yeah.
Because I did all new lights.
All new lights?
All new lights outside.
We happy with this? Wait, all new lights? That's
all
not
new.
like
They're
you,
all
dude.
freaking new.
You're like Johnny Recycle.
I was at Lowe's and got lights. The guy's like, I'll sell them to you for $1 a box. And I'm like, fill the cart up.
Wait, there's no negotiating at Lowe's. What are you negotiating with?
It was after Christmas.
Did you get a new snow shovel?
I did get a new snow shovel, but like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
and their supply was low. And I'm like, holy shit, I better get it now.
All right, what about the indoor tree? What we got? Artificial
tree? It's not up yet, but it's artificial.
What?
It's not up.
Why? What is the problem, slack ass?
I'm not like you. I mean,
the tree's not
been up since freaking Halloween.
Yes, sir. November 1.
We have one tree up inside.
One. Well, that's not getting it done. Wait, who does that? Is that you? Is that your department? Is that your wife Tammy's department? Whose department is that?
I carried it up from the basement, and that was my part of it. I mean, it's one of those trees that's already decorated, and then she wanted to redecorate it. So I carried it up, plugged it in, and my part was done.
Yeah.
That was it.
There you go. Speaking of that, I mentioned Oakley earlier, our biggest dog. He's in dog house literally right now. I forgot to mention it while I was gone. Thursday, Thanksgiving, Katie was coming down the steps, but everybody knows. Whenever you're up or down the steps with Oakley, he's first. He's the pole position. He's the pace setter. He's always first. She was coming down the steps. I don't know. There wasn't enough room. Illegal blindside block knocked her down 5 steps.
NASCAR's finding him.
She has self-diagnosed herself with multiple rib fractures. I don't know if it's true. Multiple rib fractures is what she said the other day. I don't know. She'll make it through. Those things hurt, so she got a little abdominal
Did she
injuries.
call the number?
She didn't call shit. What number? The medic number?
1-800?
No, hurt now?
Yeah.
No, it didn't happen. Anyway, yeah, the calendar turns what? December. Tomorrow.
Right, tomorrow, yeah. Got to change my razor.
What?
Got to change my razor tomorrow and change the furnace filter.
What do you mean change your razor?
It's because it's November or December 1st.
The first of every month you change your razor? Like what kind of razor?
I got these, I don't know if they're Bic or Gillette, but they're like 40 shave razors.
I use like shitty Bic ones. The ones that give you like a
these
10
are
pack for
good.
like
No,
$3.50. I know, they're awful. Dude, razor blades are so expensive.
They
It's stupid.
suck.
Speaking of that, speaking of shit being expensive, you doing your Christmas shopping yet?
No.
No.
I mean, apparently I'm done. For everybody else except for my wife.
Yeah, that's generally the way it is here too. I shop for my wife, and she generally does everything for the kids, thankfully, because it's a lot. It's pressure. I saw staggering numbers. It always staggers me, though. Black Friday, there was over $9 billion in retail sales. Cyber Monday, there was over $11 billion in sales done. So, yeah,
All I know
Christmas
is the
is crazy.
ring goes off nonstop.
Yes.
I don't even look.
And the Amazon guy shows up here like crazy. My fucking phone went off at 4:29 in the a.m. I guess it was Monday morning. I'm like, who the fuck is at the door? It was an Amazon guy dropping off a package.
No shit.
4:29 in the morning. Yes.
Oh my God.
He's there. He throws the thing down. He snaps a picture. He's out. So it was all fine. But I'm like, holy shit. I didn't know you guys worked around the clock like that. So
Wow.
we haven't even got the World Cup, really. I mean, how about that? We talked about the United States draw on Friday that Dan and I watched together, but then the crux game, they had to win or go home against Iran, not Iran. Apparently it's Iran. On Tuesday at 2 p.m., I was watching from my office.
I was watching from my office.
Pulisic got a goal at the, I want to say the 36th, 38th minute.
Took a nut shot.
He did. Hey, I applaud that. I mean, he went for it. He knew there was going to be contact. I love the goal. He says he's playing going forward. You can't keep me out.
Better play.
They resume on Saturday at 9 a.m. Possible breakfast beers for Dan and I.
10 a.m. is the start time. 9 a.m. is coverage.
That's good.
So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. I was at the office watching that, and the United States should have been up by multiple goals.
Oh, my God, yeah. No,
I mean, they had plenty of chances. First half, second half.
Was just, yeah.
And then it got really chaotic at the end, and Iran got a few chances
Yeah, they're
late.
going to dive and try and get a penalty. Yeah, no,
The thing that was most concerning to me, because the volume was like really low, because I was working and doing phone calls and everything else, and +9, the fucking stoppage guy is like heavy-handed, man, like heavy-fucking-handed.
The stoppage time's been ridiculous.
Throughout the tournament.
Yes.
I mean, +9, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, nobody went down besides Pulisic fucking, with his hip contusion
that
or
was the
pelvic
first
contusion.
half. So, I mean, the second
Oh, right,
I mean, there
you're
were a
right.
lot of subs in the second half, but come on.
So,
A lot of dives.
what freaked me out, though, was we're at the 9th minute or whatever, and I couldn't tell what happened because Iran was, like, calling for penalties at the end, and there was one.
Oh, yeah, at the very end of the game. I thought he called a penalty.
Me too,
I didn't know it was over.
The celebration wasn't really a celebration. Like, the United States players, like, fell to the ground. I'm like, motherfucker, they called a penalty.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I thought, too.
And if he buries the penalty shot, the United States is out. I mean, they're out. I thought they called a penalty, and then finally they called it over. So, anyway, it's super fun. Dan's wearing his gear. I got my America's Cup. I'm wearing my NFL shield hat, but I got the stars and stripes going on the thing. We got a combined thing going here, man. I was worried about the intro being short. I'm pretty sure it's long.
It's long.
So,
yeah, I don't know why you were worried.
So, anyway, that was a ton of fun. I mean, we'll see what happens.
What the hell is Budweiser winner?
Oh yeah, that was part of the World Cup stuff. Budweiser doesn't know what the fuck to do with the beer, so the winner of the tournament gets all the Budweiser beer, all of it,
Get out of here.
all of it that was shipped over there.
Did you see the dude wearing the Budweiser sport coat?
Yep.
I was like,
You need one of those.
yeah, I was like, that's sweet.
Put that on the Christmas list, Dan.
Budweiser sport coat.
What if, like, I mean, what are those guys? Some of those countries gonna be like, damn, Budweiser beer sucks.
Hey, whatever, it's free.
But anyway, yeah, whoever the winning country is gonna get a shit pot full of Budweiser beer. That's where it's going. So good for Anheuser-Busch on that. Anything else on the board that I missed on there, Dan?
Mexico's out.
They are. Mexico
Bye-bye.
won today. Won today. They are, I guess, the United States arch rival, if you will, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have my 3 teams, and Mexico would be the 4th team.
What is that? I don't understand that. Any of
The
that.
teams I don't like.
Oh, who are the 3 teams? Who are the 4 teams you don't like? I don't understand. 3 or 4.
Hogan, Michigan,
Oh, Jesus.
the Steelers,
Oh,
and
God.
Mexico.
You had a bad run there, except for Mexico. Hoban, Steelers, they all did well this past week. Who was the other one? Ohio State. They did poorly.
Oh my God, Ohio State got their ass kicked.
Anyway.
Stop playing Big 12 defense.
So, anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that
Did you
later.
see that? Somebody had to get fired after the Ohio State-Michigan game because of that performance. Did you see who they fired?
No.
The president of the university.
Really?
She's out.
I thought it was a dude.
It's a guy or a girl. She's out.
I didn't, really? I
She's
don't.
out.
I don't think that had anything to do with the football game.
Hey, somebody had to get fired after that performance. I was hoping it would be the defensive coordinator because I haven't liked that guy all year long.
Yeah, Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Big 12 defense. Get the hell out of here. That doesn't work in the Big 10.
There were a couple of monster plays in that game at the end.
Monster.
The game was a little bit closer than it showed. I mean, there was a 75-yard run and an 85-yard run, like huge runs. Like, well, I
We
mean,
don't play defense like that in Ohio.
that's what happens when you got to stack the box and they get past the first level. Then it's just gone. So,
That's come on. That's worse than the freaking Browns.
anyway, we'll get to the Browns. We got to get to football. Holy shit, that had to be a 20-minute intro. Last week, Dan, I thought for sure we were going to have shots on the table. Dan was 8-6 going into Sunday night. He ended up being 8-8. He got the last 2 games wrong, Sunday night, Monday night. I had a very good week. I went 11-5. Dan's record on the season is 80, 82, and 4 ties. He is 2 under 500. I am now 86, 76, and 4 after my really good week. I'm 10 plus. So, Dan, you lost your elephant pick with Seattle. I continue to run wildly hot on the season with my elephant picks, my best bets. I had Miami. I think they were up 30-0 or something like that at the half. They brought in the reserves. It got a little bit closer, but in any event, I cashed that as well. I'm 10-2 on the season. But how about Mark the Mechanic? Mark the Mechanic. So I'm playing. I didn't get a chance to do it.
Holy shit, that's his record?
Hold on. I didn't get a chance to play it back on Friday because we had you over here and it was a drinky weekend. I had to play it back Monday at work. I'm playing it back like softly in the background, trying fast forwarding picks. Dude, we're through the entire slate. Thanksgiving slate, Sunday early, Sunday late. We're on the Sunday night. Mark's fucking undefeated. He got the last 2 games wrong.
Get the hell out of here. He's 14-2.
14-2. He went on the week. And here's the thing. He got the last 2 games wrong. Like, I'm like, there's no way. He's going to fucking clean sweep this fucking thing. So, anyway.
Oh, my God.
What a performance. That's a little embarrassing for Dan and I. But anyway.
14-2.
In the
Mark.
Yeah. In the category of a blind squirrel finds another every once in a while.
Timex watch wearing.
I know this.
Ride
Astro
share.
van driving.
Yeah.
Married woman banging.
Open my beer because, yeah.
Dan's my bitch.
Yeah. What the fuck? 14-2.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's going to want to come back. I don't know.
No shit. He's going to be like, pick me up next week.
Well, we got to make sure he's not as sober as he was last time. We got to have that performance from the previous year.
14-2.
So.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, he'll be proud of it. I'm sure he has no idea. I'm sure he'll watch tomorrow.
None.
He'll watch tomorrow.
I'll be listening to it.
But the craziest thing, it wasn't like he
on.
lost the game early. Like, I'm watching this and watching this and watching this, and we're on the Sunday Night Football, and he's clean. He's completely
Oh, my
clean.
God.
I was shocked. He got his elephant pick wrong. He got 2 games wrong. He got his elephant pick wrong. He took the Packers. Took the Packers. So,
Well, he didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to tear his nutsack either.
well, probably better off that way. We'll talk about the passing of the torch possibly in that game. We got to get on to football. Holy shit, it's been forever. Sometimes Dan makes it through an entire beer before we get on the games, but it doesn't look like he's quite there yet. It is Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football, we're finally here. It's a very good AFC East game, if you ask me. It is the Buffalo Bills traveling to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. The Buffalo Bills are -5 in this game, over under 43.5. Buffalo 8-3. They share first place, but not really. They lose all the tiebreakers, specifically to the Miami Dolphins, who beat them down in Miami earlier in the season. New England is 6-5. They come off of their loss on Thanksgiving. They were very game in Minnesota. Buffalo, both these teams played on Thanksgiving, I should say. Buffalo, winning by slim margins. They win that game against Detroit. Did you watch on Thanksgiving? They won the game with the buzzer with a field goal.
And then we were eating it. I didn't see the end of it, no. But
High-scoring
they
game.
kicked it with 2 seconds left.
I think the final was 38-35. Von Miller did get hurt. He does have his own podcast. He says he's only going to be out for a week. He's out this week. I think that hurts their defense. He's been a big part of that throughout the year. And then New England. I mean, they're very game in Minnesota. They hadn't scored a lot of points, but they were putting up points right and left in Minnesota. I think they lost that game 33-26. It's probably their best offensive showing they've had all year. Big AFC East game. Damn, -5, good number. What do you think?
I'm going with Buffalo on this. The number's small enough. New England plays good. Their defense is good. I think Buffalo can survive without Von Miller for a week. I wish Buffalo could establish some kind of running game. But -5, I'm going with Buffalo on this one.
I'm riding with Dan. Long as they don't have those like 45-mile-an-hour crosswinds like they had last year. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I don't know if this shit this year is going to be there.
It can't be like that. Do you remember that game, though?
Yeah.
Like, I think New England threw the ball twice or something like that in a game. But anyway, I like Buffalo as well. I mean, this team, I don't know. It's a small enough number for me. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 5 points of Buffalo as well. Early slate starts with the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Atlanta. Pittsburgh 4-7 on the season. Atlanta's 5-7. Atlanta's a 2-point favorite in this game, over under 42.5. Pittsburgh comes off of their win on Monday night in Indianapolis. Kenny Pickett. I mean, what are we going to talk about this? This team I don't think is going anywhere certainly this year. They're not eliminated at this point in time. But I like Pickett. I mean, I watched some of that game. For being a rookie and playing 6-8 games, whatever the hell he's played, Mitch Trubisky played the opening few games. So he's probably played a half a dozen games. I like him. He seems to have poise in the pocket.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a viable player.
I think he is too.
And if
They need a
Pittsburgh,
left tackle, maybe another running back. They always draft a receiver.
in the second round, they're the best fucking drafters of wide receivers in the second round
And they
ever.
got 2
That's George
second-round
Pickens.
picks. They got the one from Claypool.
Yes, they have one coming up if they want to bolster, if they want to get back into that pool again, if you will. But yeah, that Pickens kid has sticky hands. I like him a lot. I
He's
think
coming around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a
good.
big playmaker for them. So, I think the upside is big for the Steelers next year and going forward. I think they got some foundation pieces there in Pickett and Pickens. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm disappointed. I mean, Miles Jack, I thought was a badass, and I thought
You
he'd
loved
stick
him.
out in Pittsburgh. And
I saw him get a penalty. That's all I saw on
you
that
don't
game.
hear about him at all
No.
since he left Jacksonville.
And he didn't get much money either. So, I was kind of high on that kid, too, and I was kind of surprised about how
So hopefully they release him. I'll take him on the Browns.
There you go. Well, the Browns are coming up on the board here, down to a few games here. Atlanta, they come off of their loss. They were very game in Washington. They were at the goal line at the end of the game. There was a deflected ball that got picked off. Washington won the game, and Washington's running hot, but we're not talking about them. Atlanta's 5-7. They're literally a half a game back of first place in that really bad NFC South, where Tampa Bay has the lead. I want to say they're 5-6. They're on the board here coming up. I'm scanning to look for their record, but it's not going to happen right now. Yes, 5-6. They've been in every game. Like I said, they're half a game back of this division. They're fighting for the division. I mean, this team could end up in the playoffs. Tampa Bay doesn't impress me, but they're on the board later. I mean, they got that run game. I'm wondering, though, because
But what's his name's not playing?
Pitt?
Yeah,
Ah,
he's not.
he hasn't been involved. The whole passing game hasn't been involved all year. If I'm Art Smith, I think I flip the switch and take down Mariota and see what the rookie from Cincinnati, I think Desmond Ritter, I think is his name.
Or Kyle Desmond?
Not Kyle. It starts with a D. I think Ritter is his last name. They drafted him maybe second, third round. I don't know. There's got to be some spark to that passing game because you're not really going to go anywhere.
I wouldn't put him in against Pittsburgh.
Fuck Pittsburgh. Atlanta -2 in this game.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
I like the Falcons in this game. I like their running game. I like them to run it down their throats. They're at home. I don't care that Chick-fil-A is not open. I'm on the Atlanta Falcons -2. That number's short enough to me. They're fighting for something. I think Pittsburgh knows they're not. But anyway, I don't know if that will have anything to do with the mindset. I'm on the Falcons -2. Dan's ready for a beer.
Almost. I got one more sip, and then it's going on.
All right, next game on the board. Denver goes to Baltimore. Denver is 3-8 on the year. Baltimore 7-4. Baltimore 8-point favorite in this game. Over/under is 38.5. Traditions are traditions. Denver, they lost in Carolina last week. The defense is good. Their offense is fucking horrible. I mean, there's people bitching at Russell Wilson on the sidelines. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea if it's Nathaniel Hackett. I have no idea if it's Russ Wilson. I think it might be Russ. I mean, I've watched some of their shit, and he misses throws. I mean, that's a terrible, terrible, terrible trade for Denver if Russ is washed.
Seattle's looking sweet on that trade.
My God, what a Comstock load of a trade result that is for them. Give me a little history reference for y'all.
I mean,
the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. It's not good. I mean, the system, as a coach, every coach has a system, but every coach has to look at his players and how they fit in that system, and you may have to adjust your system. So I don't know if that's the issue there, that we have the system and the coach doesn't want to adjust, or we're trying to adjust and it's just not working. And I hate to give Pete Carroll credit because I hate Pete Carroll. I hate him from USC. But
you think Hackett's one and done?
He has to be.
Yeah.
They're not going to get rid of Russell Wilson.
You can't. It's impossible. I don't
you're
think.
screwed your team for years. Who's going to take Russell Wilson?
Right, and I don't know the contract that he has, how you get out of it necessarily. I guarantee there's a lot of
For the next
guarantees.
probably 5 years.
Probably, I hope not. God, my goodness.
It's bad. You got to make something work. And I understand as a coach, this is what I do well. But as a coach, you have to coach what you got. And if you can't do,
you're trying to put square. What is that? Square and circles, circles and squares.
Yeah, square peg and a circle hole or whatever. You know me. I'm 2 tight end guy and run.
Dan's a 12 formation guy. 2 tight ends, run the ball.
Run, control the clock.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, we didn't have that this year, so I threw the ball.
Your Pee Wee season's over. Stop talking about Pee Wee season.
I adjusted Pee Wee. What the hell? This is the NFL.
Did you adjust the playbook when you had LeBron?
No.
Well, you were on defense, weren't you? You were on defense. What was your
When I was
coach?
a head freshman coach, I called the plays.
You did. You were the play caller.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
This show's wildly long.
And then when I coached, when we did the varsity, we worked up a system, and the kids were smart enough to read the defense. So if we had a run called based on the defense, they would change the play.
Right.
And we were fine with it because, it was either
You got to have a quarterback on the field at all
the
times.
safeties up to stop the run, and then that leaves the middle of the field open. It wasn't rocket science. It was pretty basic stuff.
They got to have a smart kid there to call out the defensive plays and things like that. Anyway,
You have to have 11 smart kids because they all have to get on the same page when you're changing the play at the line of scrimmage when you see the defense. It's not just 1 or 2 people. It's all 11 have to be on the same page or you're screwed. What's happening in Denver? They're screwed. I'm going with the Ratbirds on this.
We need to talk about the Ratbirds.
Screw them.
The
We
Baltimore,
need to talk about
the
them.
Baltimore Ravens are
Mudbutt.
minus. We gotta recap
How about
this.
Mudbutt getting pissed on Twitter?
I saw that. Give me a second here. Let me get the line back out there. Baltimore -8 in this game. Over under is 38.5. Let's talk about Baltimore, who's tied for first place. They do own the tiebreaker over the Cincinnati Bengals right now, who are there tied for first place with in the AFC North. Once again, -8. They come off of that thrilling loss in Jacksonville, where once again they blew a 2-score lead late.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They need a fucking passing game, dude. They don't have a passing
No, they
game.
don't. And their DB's below.
Are you going to give Lamar Jackson that contract he wants?
No.
What
You're
are
going
you
to
gonna do?
franchise tag him.
But they don't. Yes. I mean,
You're not going to give him that contract.
where's the passing game? It's non-existent almost in Baltimore. I mean, as far as the wide receivers go, Mark Andrews gets his
and
there. He's nicked.
Greg Roman is one of the dudes up for the Stanford job.
Really? Their
Yeah.
defensive coordinator, right?
No, he's the offensive coordinator.
Roman's offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Baltimore -8 against Denver in this game.
I got to go with the Ratbirds.
I'm going to wait to talk about Jacksonville because that was pretty awesome performance. I think they're coming up in a couple of games here. I'm going to lay the points too. Denver's a fucking shit show, man.
They're awful.
Baltimore -8 in this game. I mean, Denver has a good defense, but are they going to score more than 10, 14 points against the Ratbirds? I doubt it.
No.
I mean, all that means is Baltimore has to score 20 in the 20s, and I think they probably win this football game or cover this number.
Yeah, Denver's good for 3 field goals.
All right, Dan and I are both on Baltimore as much as it pains him.
We're on the Ratbirds.
All right, it is Packer week for my Chicago football Bears. The Green Bay Packers come to town.
Now I got to get my Packers shirt.
The Packers are -3 in Soldier Field against the Bears. The Packers are 4-8 on the season. The Bears are 3-9. We weren't expecting that. Those are two really bad records. Green Bay, who was very game, comes off their loss on Sunday night in Philadelphia. They ended up losing by a touchdown. There was a lot of points scored in that game. Aaron Rodgers did get hurt. Jordan Love came in relief. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. And dude, do you see he's got like a tongue waggle thing, like Michael Jordan when he like throws the ball. He like swishes his tongue around. I like that immediately. I hope he sucks because a Bears fan. But whatever, he looked pretty good after riding the pine for like 3 years now. I mean, Rodgers says he's playing in Chicago. Chicago, I tell you what, their losers of 5 straight. They're not near as fucking fun to watch without Justin Fields. It was my first time watching them this year without Fields in New York when they played the Jets. They lost. They got blown out. Trevor Siemian.
He got hurt.
He did, but he ended up playing. Like there was room, or he got hurt, like hurt his oblique or something like that, in
He
the
got kicked in
pregame
the
warm-up.
nuts like Pulisic.
Whatever. Anyway, I mean, it's bad. I have a feeling Fields is not going to play, but the Bears are not fun to watch. I mean, their defense is horrible. Green Bay -3 in this game. I don't think Fields plays. What do we think, Dan?
Ah, shit. If Fields not playing, I got to go with Green Bay. I'm sorry.
I'm taking the Bears. Fuck the Packers. I can't
Yeah,
do it.
it's your
It's
team.
against my
That's your
fabric. It's not a
rival.
game I'm going to personally play. Fuck the Packers. I'm on the Bears getting the 3 points. I think they win the game outright. Fields ain't going to play. So I don't know how the hell they're going to do that. But anyway, I don't think Rodgers at full strength. Maybe I would say that maybe the Bears will crack him. But they have no pass rush. Anyway, enough on that game. Dan's on the Packers. I'm on the Bears. Correct?
Yeah.
All right, next game on the board. Kind of a fun game. Jacksonville at Detroit. I don't think anybody probably would have said that at the beginning of the season. It's not record-wise. They both share the same record at 4-7. Detroit is a 1-point favorite in this game. I think it's a fun game because I kind of like offense. The over-under is 51.5. You're going to see a shootout in this game. Jacksonville, let's talk about their win over Baltimore. They were down. Maybe Trevor Lawrence's come-out game. I tell you what, that drive that he orchestrated at the end of the game was awesome. And meanwhile, their coach, Doug Peterson, gambler, awesome dude. They get the
Went for
touchdown late.
two.
Fuck that, we're going
Yeah.
for the win. They got it. I mean, I love it. Travis Etienne went out in that game, but I think he's fine. It was more precautionary than anything. I think he's going to play. That's one of their playmakers. But I mean, Justin Fields, we just talked about the Bears, had his coming out party and played really well until he got hurt for like 3-4 weeks in a row. I think this might be Trevor Lawrence's moment where he turns the corner. He had a shit show for a fucking coach last year in Urban Meyer. he has a pretty darn good proven coach this year in Doug Peterson, and he's kind of started to turn the corner. I think he's going to continue to keep it going. Whether or not they win this game in Detroit is another story. Detroit comes off of their loss against Buffalo home, where, as always, they're game on Thanksgiving, and they were game again and had that lead for a while. They lost the game at the buzzer, 38-35. I don't know about choke. I mean, Buffalo's a pretty darn good football team. But this is going to be a high-scoring game. Who's going to win this game, Dan? Basically, it's pick the winner with Detroit -1.
Has Jacksonville won on the road?
I don't know that one. That's
This
asking
year?
a lot. We need one of those stats guys. We need a stats guy. We don't have a stats guy.
Yeah.
We need a stats guy like right there that would plug it up on his phone and do it.
Jeez. That throws off my pick. I mean,
I'll take the lead. I don't know. Detroit. No, I'm
going
not.
to go with Jacksonville.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville, too. I don't want to pick Detroit.
-1.
I mean, I don't know who wins this game. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to go with the momentum from Trevor Lawrence, and they continue to play well. I like that team on a fast track, especially ETN as the running back and catching balls out of the backfield. There's plenty of firepower in Detroit as well. I'm going with Jacksonville, getting the point.
I'm going with them.
All right, Dan and I are both on Jacks. Next game on the board, Dan's Cleveland Football Browns. They travel to Houston.
Get your massages done, baby.
All right, Cleveland 4-7 on the season. Houston 1-9-1. Cleveland is a full touchdown favorite in this game, -7 in this game. They come off of their awesome win in Tampa Bay, where Mark the Mechanic and myself said they were going to win the game outright, and Dan took Tampa Bay -3. I'm going to remind him of this, but that's not really the story. By the way, your team's not dead yet. I want to cater to my local fans here in Cleveland. Your team's not dead, and you have hope because you think Deshaun Watson's a savior. He's a very good quarterback. He hasn't played in like fucking 2 years. I have no idea what he's going to look like down in Houston. I'm sure they're going to, it's a game where I think Cleveland normally would probably just run the ball down their throat. But I think they're going to feel the need to showcase Deshaun Watson a little bit since he's going back to Houston. It's his first game back. What do you think about your team?
I think they should run the damn ball, and the defense better step up because Houston's offense sucks ass.
It does. They made a change at quarterback. Kyle Allen played last week against Miami.
And he's fearful of going against Myles Garrett, his college teammate.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I did not know that. That's a good little nugget right there. I mean, Houston, Kyle Allen played. There was no difference in it. I mean, it was bad. I think they were down 30-0. It was bad. I think he's going to continue to play. I don't think they're just going to go back to Davis Mills.
Week.
I mean, I like Cleveland in this game to win by a lot.
Yeah, the defense is going to show up. Special teams finally showed up last week, which they've been non-existent for the last 3 pre-for years.
What about the rally skunk?
Somebody had to bring that. I don't understand how he skunk.
Dude, someone got in and turfed the place on the Gator. A skunk can get in too. If a random drunk dude can get in, a skunk can get in.
Live in that stadium. There's no freaking way. Where the skunk was, no.
This game's on the road. Do you know how many random douchebag Browns fans are going to show up next week when they play at home in like skunk outfits?
Oh, a ton.
So awesome. I'm on the Browns -7. It's a candidate for elephant pick,
Browns.
best bet. We're both laying the points of the Browns. That number's not too big enough for me considering the non-existent offense from the Houston Texans. Next game on the board, sneaky fun game.
Here we got a problem.
What?
Both doors are down. I got to take a leak.
Go for it. I know how to do that. I'll fix that for you.
Is there a drain over there? Or are you going to open one?
I guess that's my problem for not getting a urinal in here. We talked about a stand-up urinal, got promptly.
What do you mean? I have a drain in my garage. I just pee right
You're
in here.
knocking shit over. Got promptly vetoed by my wife. There will not be a stand-up urinal in the garage. How's the wind out there, Dan? What a puss. Anyway, sneaky good football game here. The Jets in Minnesota. Jets are 7-4. Minnesota Vikings 9-2. Minnesota's 3-point favorite in this game. The over/under is 45.5. The Jets come off their win against Chicago in New York. Mike White, how about that? I mean, there was a changing of the guard at quarterback. Zach Wilson, who's not played well, does not say anything right in press conferences. Mike White played really well in the game, I think. I mean, the Bear defense is really porous. I mean, they're really bad. So there's a question in regards to that. Minnesota comes off of their kind of like shootout win against New England on Thursday night. Wow, it is windy. The board's like flopping up and down. Dan, you gotta get back in here soon before the set blows over. In any event, Minnesota's defense, they have to play better in this game. And I mean, this is a big game for both teams. Minnesota -3 in this game. I'll take the lead as soon as I can get Dan in here. I like Minnesota in this game. I've liked them all year.
Holy shit, is it windy?
It is. It was blowing the board like crazy. I got to drop the thing back down. It's the far left one, Dan. Yeah, that's the reason why we have the garage door down, which I think is the first time that we've had the garage door down when we've done the show. It's windy. There's a little board behind the camera where I read some of the stuff off of, take little notes. Largely, it's like freelanced, but if you will, it was rattling things. It might rattle the camera. So in any event, I'm on Minnesota -3 in this game. The Jets have more signs of life with offense with Mike White. I mean, they did. But they played a really bad defense in the Bears. I think a lot of the Minnesota team, their defense Minnesota's defense has to play better. I mean, they gave up 26 points to the New England Patriots, who have been limited in offense all year. Dan, what do you think? It could go the other way.
I mean, I know Minnesota was one of your picks for Super Bowl, NFC Championship.
NFC Championship, Minnesota, Philadelphia. That was my pick.
The Jets, I mean, come on. You went with this guy. Now you're going with Mike White, who...
Do you know where Mike White went to college at? I don't. I'm asking. I got it. Alexa, where did Mike White, the New York Jets quarterback, play college football?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. Mike White played in colleges in South Florida from 2013 to 2014 and in Western Kentucky from 2015 to 2017.
Western Kentucky.
Thank you. He's a Western Kentucky, I think, Hilltopper.
Wait, what other quarterback went to Western Kentucky?
Zappy.
Oh, yeah.
Zappy. We got a lot of Western Kentucky quarterbacks. Who the hell's the quarterback's coach over there, motherfucker?
Oh,
Get him a
shit.
job, right? What do you think, Dean? I'm on Minnesota -3. I'm not going
I'm
to shy
on
with
Minnesota as well.
They're home.
The
Field goal's not too
Jets,
much,
I
right?
mean, they made, that's a weird situation with the quarterback. Zach Wilson, I mean, come on, you threw your team under the bus. You're a douche.
He is. All right, we're on both on the Vikings -3?
Yeah.
Very big game in the NFC East, and that is the Washington Giants. The Washington Commanders playing the New York Giants in New York. Washington 7-5 on the season. The Giants are 7-4 on the season. Washington on the road, a 2.5-point favorite in this game in New York. Washington comes off their win against Atlanta, where they got a defensive play at the end, a turnover at the end to save the game. The Giants come off of their loss on Thanksgiving in Dallas. Dallas is looking pretty good, and they're on the board late here.
Do you think either one of these teams make the playoffs?
Right now, the entire NFC East is in the playoffs. All of them. All of them.
That's
If
not
the
gonna
playoffs
happen.
start, I don't know. If the playoffs started today, Dallas, Washington, the Giants. Who am I missing?
Dallas, Washington, the Giants, and
Philadelphia, of course.
Philadelphia. I mean, come on.
Philadelphia, of course. Sorry. Maybe the beer's getting to me. Washington -2.5 in this game. They're the 7th seed right now in the tournament, if you will. They're coming up 3 straight wins. They've won like 6 of the last 7 games. They started out the season like 1-4. The defense is pretty good. Has Chase Young ever fucking played yet?
I don't know. He's kind of practicing. I mean, he's coming off the ACL.
The Giants are so limited in playmakers.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, I mean, he should be raring to go. I mean,
I don't know.
The Giants have 2 losses in a row. They're so limited in playmakers. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can stop Saquon Barkley, that thing's not going to go anywhere.
The Giants had success doing some trickeration and fancy shit. It's catching up with them. They're now.
And they won some close games. I remember that game overseas. They ended up winning at the buzzer and things like that. Washington -2.5 in a really big division game, Dean. They going to win this game?
I'm going with Washington.
Me too. I'm a believer in the Commanders. I'm a believer in Ron Rivera. He's got this team playing well. I like Tyler Heineke. If they can stop Saquon Barkley, they make them very, very, I mean, I would say one-dimensional, but there's no dimension left after you stop Barkley. It's how limited the Giants are. I think Brian Daboll's done a tremendous job with this football team. Changed the mindset, changed the culture. We're both on the Commanders -2.5. A really, really good football game coming up here next. It is the Tennessee Titans traveling to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. They don't show very much brotherly love. Yes, it's the end of the 1 o'clock slate. I am belabor flexing when it comes to Sunday Night Football because there's so many games that come up in the late window or the games going forward from this point.
Wait, no, it wasn't this week.
This is a great game. It is the 7-4 Tennessee Titans traveling to play the 10-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Tennessee comes off their home loss against Cincinnati. Philadelphia won their game against Green Bay on Sunday night in somewhat of a shootout. Philadelphia has been placed as a 5.5-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 44.5. Let's talk about Tennessee and their home loss against Cincinnati.
I mean, they're limited on offense, if you ask me. Tennessee is. But I'm kind of concerned with where the defense was because I thought the defense was pretty stout for Tennessee. And I'll give Cincinnati.
They were playing Cincinnati.
Cincinnati credit.
They're good football. They're the AFC fucking defending champs, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Cincinnati stopped Derrick Henry.
They did. They did.
They stopped him.
And I saw that dude. I mean, they had
that's the recipe.
Yeah, if you can stop Derrick Henry. But meanwhile, that's kind of the Achilles heel of Philadelphia because I don't know if you saw the Sunday Night Football game against Green Bay. The reason why Green Bay had so much success is because they were running the ball. They were running the ball at them with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I mean, they were running right at them and going down the field.
Two quality backs. I mean, A.J. Dillon.
Absolutely.
Big freaking dude.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, Tennessee, it's difficult for them to win if they struggle running the ball because then it makes things almost impossible because how about this? A.J. Brown goes back to his revenge game, if you will. I never thought about it, just thinking about their passing game. But Philadelphia, I mean, they have a potent offense. Their run defense is, like I said, their Achilles heel. I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to take the lead in this game. I think this game comes down the wire. I love the points in this game in Tennessee getting 5.5. I think this is a field goal game at best.
So you're on Tennessee?
I'm on Tennessee getting the points all day.
Too. I'm on Tennessee because in Ohio, everybody wants to fire Ryan Day, and they're talking about Mike Vrabel replacing him.
No.
Mike Vrabel ain't leaving Tennessee.
He ain't going anywhere. That guy's, if he's not the best coach in the National Football League, he's 2, if you ask me. And that would be behind Kyle Shanahan, if you ask me. But anyway, we'll talk about Kyle coming up here in a little bit with a kind of a mentor-student type situation. But anyway, and that's the in-laws game. But we're both on Tennessee getting the points, 5.5. Next game on the board starts the late games on Sunday, the 4 p.m. Slate. For us Eastern timers here.
Here.
Coming out of Ohio, the Seattle Seahawks travel to play the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle -8 in this game, which is just a shocking number. You would have never thought that going into the season. Over-under is a paltry 41.5. Seattle comes off their home loss against Las Vegas, where their defense all of a sudden isn't playing very well. Well, let's talk about this. The last few weeks, Seattle's been in the playoffs if they started that day or when our show was.
Right.
They're out now. They're out because of their loss at home against the Vegas Raiders. Their defense really let them down. They gave up some big runs to Josh Jacobs, who finished it in overtime with a really long run.
I'm watching those highlights and I'm going, man, how bad do the Raiders look for not giving them the 5-year option? Or the 5th-year option.
I don't think they look bad at all. I don't, because, I mean, all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs leads the National Football League in rushing is what Dan gets to, and I get it. But meanwhile, it's my whole mindset that these guys are plug and play. You draft a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round.
It's a 5th-year option.
Fuck that. You can get a guy in the 2nd, 3rd round easily that can do what he can do, I think. In my opinion, I think they're plug and play players, which is a little bit disrespectful, I guess, to the actual
1 year,
position.
it's not going to cost you that much.
No, I don't know what all the financials are in regards to that. The Rams, they're an absolute shit show. They're so banged up.
God,
they're the biggest flop as a Super Bowl defender that there is.
Donald is out.
He is out. I mean,
Stafford is,
probably not playing.
pizza. Oh, and
Cooper
by
Kupp's
the way,
out.
a girl fell off the stage. I'm going to turn around and go the other way.
I'm not gonna buy all that, but I mean, all
What
their
do you mean you're not
players,
going to buy all that? Those are facts.
all their players are
Donald
really-
is not playing, and he shouldn't have played for the first 6 games. And then Matt Stafford is a douche because that girl fell off the stage taking his picture and his wife's picture at the Super Bowl party, and he turned around and he didn't want to help her.
The Super Bowl hangover is
screw the
real.
Rams.
They're really banged up. By the way, I grabbed
really
another
banged
beer.
up.
It's called Kenny's Day Drinking. That's my first
we
name.
knows Kenny's day drinking on Friday.
I tell you what, Dan, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting 2 to 10 for one thing. You're welcome anytime. You know that. I love you to death. Dude, we gave the fridge an absolute fucking beatdown on Friday. Like a beatdown. Like there was like nothing left.
That's what I said. We got beers for your neighbor.
What did we get? What kind of beers?
Bud Lights.
Really?
Yeah.
There were Coors Lights. There were some other things. I found these
drinking
down in
a
Dayton.
Coors Light.
The Kenny's Day Drinking, it's DEY, meaning Cincinnati Who Day type of thing. I'm sure it's Kenny Anderson's beer. I didn't look at it too
Oh,
good.
hell yeah, it
I
is.
forced Tyler to drink one. I know that much.
I drank one. I actually was on my second one, and he finished mine.
No, this shit's like Miller Lite, Bud Light, all same shit.
Kenny's day drinking, though. That's an awesome can.
It's a cool can presentation, right?
Yeah.
Super cool. Anyway, I lost track, Dan. What game we on? Rams. There's no way I'm picking. Well, I don't know. That's a big number.
It is
Seattle
a big
minus
number.
8. I mean, the Rams come off their loss in Kansas City. They don't have their playmakers. They have a backup quarterback, which if you don't have a quarterback in National Football, you can't really play. They don't have Cooper Kupp. They don't have Allen Robinson. They don't have Aaron Donald. They're missing every freaking possible big-time part in their team. Seattle playing for the playoffs.
And their coach got hit in the face with somebody. Did he break his jaw, or was that just all TV hype?
What Seattle? They come off of that.
Wait, no, I'm talking
What?
McVay. You
Oh
see
yeah, I
that?
saw him. I saw the player run by him
Ugh.
in his face. Yeah, he's playing. He's coaching. He's coaching. So
Dude, if that happened to me, I'd have shoved the guy. I'm like, get
we got some good games coming up. This is a shitty game. Are they gonna
shitty
win this game by 8 though? That's a big number.
I hate picking the Rams. Who do the Rams have?
Nobody. Kyron Williams, a running back.
I'll take the Seattle Seahawks. It's fine.
It's too big of a number in the National Football League for me. I'm going to take the Rams getting them 8 points in this game. I 100% think Seattle wins this game. I think they get a backdoor score, whatever. It ends up being 4, 6, 7, whatever it is. I don't know. Let's talk about some good football games coming up next. And the next 2 are awesome games. It is the Miami
None of
Dolphins.
these games are good.
What are you talking about? The first place Miami Dolphins, 8-3, travel to San Francisco to play the 7-4 49ers. The 49ers are 3.5-point favorites in this game. The over-under is 46.5. The Dolphins are in first place in that very good AFC East. They come off their blowout win against Houston. They pulled some players. Teron Armstead.
Blowout win against Houston.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of
Let's
people.
clarify that.
Their offense
Okay.
continues to hum. They lost their left tackle, I think it was, or right tackle. I don't know which tackle it was. He says he's playing. So he has a pec injury. I don't know. He came out. It didn't go well with the backup offensive lineman. Tua got sacked a few times, and Mike McDaniel's like, fuck that. We're taking this dude out. That's not going to work. Meaning Tua type of thing. The game got a little bit closer, but they covered the number. San Francisco comes off of their win against New Orleans at home. New Orleans, we'll talk about them in a bit. They're on the board, and I got something to say about that team, specifically Dennis Allen, their head coach. But they have a pretty good defense. It's the student versus mentor game, and Mike McDaniel came from Kyle Shanahan, and he's done very well down in Miami. Kyle Shanahan, I think a ton of him. I think he's probably the best coach in the National Football League. Their offense sputtered kind of though last week, although they're coming off 4 wins in a row. I mean, New Orleans has an okay defense, but I want to say they scored like 20 points or 17 points. Like, they didn't score a lot. Like, shut out New Orleans. Shut out New Orleans. So this is a really big game, a really fun game. This game should have been flexed, if not the next one on the board. But, Dan, what do you think about this game? Who's going to win this game?
How's this game not flexed? Because the Sunday night game sucks ass.
It does, and we'll get to it in a second. This game or the game
I'm
following,
not
which is
turning it on.
Kansas City, Cincinnati, should be the Sunday night football game, but we're talking about Miami and San Francisco right now.
This is an intriguing game, and I think Miami comes out on top, and I expect Miami to run the ball.
Jeff Wilson. Well, it's funny. Mike McDaniel's familiar people. His two running backs, I think Raheem Mostert, who's hurt
Yes.
right now, came from San Francisco. Jeff Wilson. They get him at the trade deadline. San Francisco running backs that he's familiar with. Here we go. This is a big test.
And I saw, who's hurt or didn't practice today.
Who, Bosa?
McCaffrey.
Oh, McCaffrey. I'm not terribly worried about it. I think he's going to play. I tell you what, no name, that Hufanga guy, that safety, who's an absolute ball hawk for San Francisco. Be careful with these timing patterns. But meanwhile, I think a lot of this Dolphin team, Dan, did you declare already?
I'm going with Miami.
Me too. I think they're going to win this football game. I think they're going to win the football game and validate themselves as a true contender in the AFC. I really do. Wow, we're running really long. I think flipped already. Next game on the board, a super good game. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Cincinnati. This was the AFC Championship game last year. Kansas City 9-2 on the year, 2-point favorites in the Queen City. Cincinnati 7-4. The Kansas City comes off their win against the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, the Rams are hurt. They're a proven team. They're certainly a proven team. Cincinnati Bengals come off a very impressive win in Tennessee. They kind of bullied them, dude. I didn't expect that. I mean, Cincinnati I kind of felt like was like a finesse team. No, not so much. I mean, they bullied Tennessee. They played defense. They stuffed Henry. That was an impressive performance. They're defending AFC champs. I like them going down the stretch here. They're going to get Jamar Chase back. I mean, there's a lot to like about this football game and this football team. Not this week?
No. Kansas City.
Cincinnati's a winner of 3 straight. I think they're going to do it again. Hooday! I'm on the beer. I'm on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Shit. What timing?
So, anyway, next game on the board. We got to get through this. Wow, this show's long. Los Angeles Chargers play the Las Vegas Raiders.
Holy shit.
Los Angeles Chargers 6-5. The Vegas Raiders are 4-7. Chargers are -2 in this game. They come off the win against Arizona, where they won the game at the very end. They went for 2. I mean, they have a very aggressive head coach in Brandon Staley. They got the late touchdown. They went for 2. They kind of saved their season with it because that's not a very good record. Not a good enough record in the AFC right now. The Vegas Raiders, they're on life support, but they won. They're not done. Josh Jacobs with that big run in overtime, finished that game. I don't know. What do you think about this game? Is like the Vegas Raiders going to ride that momentum of that overtime win against Seattle, or the Chargers going to go in there and win?
Going with the Chargers. Even though the Chargers blow, the Raiders blow, I'm going with the Chargers. I mean, it's like all the teams that were good last year suck this year.
I like the Chargers as well in this game. I don't know. I mean, I know Vegas has some momentum going forward, but I like the Chargers as well at -2 in this game. Next game on the board, we're mercifully on to Sunday Night Football.
Jeez.
It is a game that I think should have been flexed. I mean, why will they flex?
I don't understand why Dallas is on primetime all the
fucking
freaking
America's
time.
team, right?
They're
man?
not America's team.
I hear you.
They're not. Seriously.
They
The
flexed.
Miami-San Francisco game, I would much rather. I'm not going to watch this game. I could care less. Jeff Saturday is the coach against the friggin' Cowboys. Okay. I mean, if the Cowboys don't win by 9.5, something should happen to the Cowboys.
They flexed the game next Sunday night already, and the Dolphins
Miami,
game. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe not enough time to flex this one, but man,
jeez,
the Miami. I mean, I don't. You don't want to put Miami and Sunday Night Football twice, but man, that Kansas City, Cincinnati.
You put the Chargers on twice.
But I
got to see that shit-ass team.
All right, we got to get through this show. The Kansas City-Cincinnati game was a prime candidate. I mean, it was the AFC Championship game last year. A prime candidate for B Sunday Night Football. In the jungle, man, night cold.
I agree with that.
Fun. That'd be fun. I mean, it didn't happen. Anyway, it's Indianapolis, Dallas. Dallas -9.5 in this game, over under 43.5. We talked about Indy losing their home game against Pittsburgh already. Dallas, they won their game on Thanksgiving against the Giants. Their offense pretty good. You know, they're balanced. Sometimes the defense shows up. Sometimes it doesn't show up as well as it did. Dallas minus 9.5 in this game against Indianapolis, Dan.
Matt Ryan's terrible. I'm sorry.
Like, painful to watch.
I never thought he was good at Atlanta. I don't know how he got Matty Ice as a nickname. I don't see Dallas winning by
Ice
9.5. I have to go with the Colts.
I'm not. I'm laying the points.
9.5?
Oh, yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
All day. Indianapolis fucking terrible, Dan.
They
They're
are
terrible. They have a coach who doesn't know what he's doing.
Dallas, I think, plays down to the freaking opponent.
They got a lot to play for here. You know, they got people on their heels. I mean, 7-5. One of those teams is going to be 8-5 between Washington and New York Giants. They're 8-3 right now. They got to buy. There's going to be people on their heels. They got a ton to play for. Seeding, I think they're certainly going to be in the playoffs. I like this team going forward. I love Dallas in this game, minus 9.5. I think they blow out the Colts. Monday Night Football. And I guess it's a good game just because of what it means for the particular division. It's an NFC South
What do
game.
you mean you guess it's a good game?
For the NFC South. For the NFC South. I mean, here's the deal. This NFC South
If
is
you
so
win
bad.
this game, you still have a losing record, and you're still going to be in the top of the bracket.
In the NFC South, because it's so bad. It's the New Orleans Saints, who are 4-8, travel to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5-6. Tampa Bay minus 3.5 in this game, over under an underwhelming 40 points total. New Orleans comes off their loss against San Francisco, where they got shut out. And here's my big thing. I wanted to say this. I have no idea what's going on in New Orleans and how you do not make a quarterback change. Dennis Allen is the head coach there. They got 0 points in San Francisco. How do you not play Jameis, who's healthy? How do you not try to flip the switch? The defense isn't horrible, but come on. Dalton's doing nothing for you. What about just a spark? I mean, maybe you think the quarterbacks are both similar, but a big fucking deal. Maybe there's a spark that happens. Tampa Bay, they come off their loss in Cleveland, their overtime loss in Cleveland. Cleveland got the big play to Amari Cooper down the field. They shoved it in. They won the game. You know, they continue to lose and continue to be in first place in this division. They're minus 3.5 in this game, Dan, at home. What do you think?
Do I have to pick?
I'm gonna pick New Orleans. I hope Jameis Winston plays at some point in time. There hasn't been a declaration. There hasn't been any indication that Andy Dalton isn't the starter. But I think Tampa Bay sucks. And I'm tired of people riding this like, oh, Tom Brady. He sucks. It's not that he sucks. He's probably the best player of all time.
Defense is good. Their offense is not. I'm going to have to go with the Buccaneers.
Dan's going to lay the points. I'm going to take the Saints in this game. Buys Arizona and Carolina. Dan, we're on the best bets in this game on the show here tonight.
Elephant?
Yep.
Mine is Minnesota.
I like it. I like the home pick. I think the Browns are going to blow out the Houston Texans. I think they have 0 to offer on offense. I think the Browns are going to run the ball down their throat. They're going to play action and make sure they get Deshaun Watson a couple of touchdown passes. I think they win that game going away by 2 scores easily. The Cleveland Browns are my elephant pick. By the way, play them. I'm 10-2 on the year. That's been the entire show. I know it's very long. I'm going to cringe when I look at it back. It's probably an hour and 15 minutes long. College football, conference championship week. We don't have any games to pick, but
Utah USC, that's a good game.
Friday night.
I can't wait for that.
Friday night. I tell you what, local flavor for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I think they for sure get in if USC falls to Utah. I think they also get in the Big 12 championship game if TCU loses to Kansas State. That game's on Saturday at noon. There's a lot of reasons to watch for the local people, but you know, it's dwindling down. I mean, we're going to be on the bowl season soon, which is...
Wait, I'm not rooting for Ohio State. Well, they shouldn't make the playoff. What the hell?
They're in.
Blows.
They're in with the USC loss for sure. I think they're probably in with the TCU loss. We'll see how it shakes out.
What about a Michigan loss? Can Purdue pull it out?
That's not going to happen. 17 points. I got into a huge pissing match with Teddy being an SEC honk and picking on the Big Ten and things like that after Ohio State got beat by Michigan. Any event.
Well, okay, let's talk about the SEC. How is Tennessee 7 and Alabama 6 when Tennessee beat Alabama?
I don't know. Well,
how the hell is that possible?
Hendon Hooker not being able to play. But meanwhile,
wait, aren't we going by records?
The thing with
Or are
Teddy,
they making other shit
I'm
up?
not gonna get into
That's
it. I don't know if
bullshit.
I watched to the end of this thing, but he acts like the SEC is top to bottom, so superior to everybody else. Well, there's a reason why the Georgia Bulldogs are 17.5-point favorites against the LSU Tigers, because outside of Georgia, the SEC this year isn't very fucking good, if you ask
Yeah,
me.
no
So
shit.
it's the same way with the Big Ten, so I don't want to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching an incredible, drinky, long show. Hey, we'll be back next week doing it all again. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you soon.